Today we're going to be installing the parking lamp bulbs on the RS. As you can see, the Auxito bulbs have arrived, and it fits 168, 194, 2825, which is the bulb I have in there right now, and others. Application used for map light, dome light, glove box, and so forth. My concern is that the diameter of the bulb might be a little bit different, might be a little bit bigger than the 2825 that I have in there. If you recall from my other video about changing the parking lamp bulb, it was advised that you remove this trim piece here so that you can get access in there. So angle the handlebars over to give yourself more room, and then remove this, and then you can reach in and just pull it out. With the dust cap removed, you probably might be able to see a little bit, but the parking lamp connector is in there. So it's kind of hard to show you here where it is, but you've got to reach down in there and pull it out with the needle nose pliers. Good. That was not hard at all, just reaching in and pulling it out. I don't want to pull it out too much more, because then the wires that are kind of located in here are going to come out, and it's going to make it hard to reinstall. So I'm going to just go ahead and pull out that bulb, and then we'll go back to the workbench and compare sizes. But as you can see, it's got to fit inside of that holder, and the holder is what keeps it in a friction fit inside the hole in the headlamp. I've got them lined up side by side, and using the top of the connector as a reference on this line here, you can see that the 2825 bulb, it is a little bit taller actually. In terms of diameter, I'd have to use a caliper to measure that. As you can see, all the measurements have been taken, and from the measurements I got, the Auxito bulb is a little bit wider and has a little bit greater diameter in way of the base and the bulb respectively, but not by much. Very, very small differences. Went back into the socket, no problem, and now I'm going to turn the bike on and see if I get a code. It lights up, and I've got the code there for the headlamp, which is normal. I'm going to start the bike up and see if I clear all codes. Now normally that code would be gone by now. Let's see what the GPS says. Bulb defective. Parking light 2 is defective. So that code is not going away. So it's throwing a code that I can't clear. So let's put the original bulb back in and see what happens. Now the original bulb is back in place. Let's turn it on. Turn the bike on. There's the code, a code there. It could be for the but the bulb isn't on. Okay. So I put this bulb back in place, the original bulb, and it didn't light. And then when I checked it against the light above, the filament is blown. So maybe handling the bulb, as you could see when I first took it out, it was kind of darkish. So it looks like you can see against my shirt there, it was getting towards its end of life, I guess. But now the filament is gone, so I've got to go find another bulb. Just looking at the two for comparison, you can see the difference in color, temperature, and brightness. Yeah, it's much brighter. The LED is much brighter than the incandescent. But I have a code. I'm going to leave it in because they're relatively easy to change. I'm going to leave it in until I get one that doesn't have a code. After ordering the silver stars from Amazon, a friend of mine had recommended these Lasfit LED bulbs, and I recalled seeing them on Amazon as well. So I did go back and get a pack from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. But one of the reasons I didn't buy this is because they're probably the ugliest bulb I've ever seen. It's basically not a bulb at all. It's a circuit board. And, it'll kind of look ugly in the housing, I think, especially when the lights are off and you're going to see two little black blobs down the bottom of the reflector. But anyway, he said he was using them and they never produced any codes. So we're going to try those. I'm going to put them in, if indeed they're not the ones to produce any codes, I'm going to put them in the high beam side. Go ahead and put that in and then use that as a comparison with the incandescent bulbs. I'm going to open that pack just so that you can see what the color looks like. But if this works out, I'm not gonna keep these in. I'm gonna keep these as spares. But this way you'll get to see that these shouldn't produce any codes. So by putting this in the high beam side, I'll get rid of the codes and then we'll see just compare color temperature. So I just put the Lasfit bulb in the high beam side, and this has the Auxito bulb in it. Let us turn on the light and compare what the color is like. As you can see, well, you probably can't see because it's so bright, but this one is slightly bluer than this one. This one is a little bit whiter. Probably a lower color temperature, the Auxito. Bulb defective, you see parking light 1 defective, front parking light 2 defective, which suggests that both of them are throwing codes. That's not good. Now I installed the incandescent Sylvania bulb in there on the low beam side, and I'm going to turn on the bike. As you can see, that's a pretty yellowish light. Let's check the codes now. Front parking light 1 is defective. So it seems as though that Lasfit bulb isn't going to be any good for me. I'm going to go put the other Lasfit bulb in there just to see that it comes back. The code comes back on this side as well. The other Lasfit bulb is in there, and it's saying that both parking lamps are defective. So what worked for my friend isn't working for me. And these Lasfit bulbs are throwing a code. Finally, just to show you what the color temperatures are like, I'm going to turn it both on, and you can see the nice Lasfit LED bulb on the right hand side still. And there is the Sylvania Silver Star on the left of the bike, and it's pretty yellow. So that's what I'm doomed to have instead of a nice bright white light for my parking bulb. So at the end of this exercise here, I've got LED lights, but incandescent parking lamps, because I can't have codes showing up, because when something does go out, I might miss an actual proper warning. So I can't just live with the warning for the bulb being out. So I've put the two halogens back in there, and as you can see, they're yellow as heck. And until I get another solution, I don't know, put something in the comments below if you've got actually a solution to this and you've tried a different bulb and it worked. I'm going to return those bulbs back to Amazon, and hopefully one of these days I'll be able to put some LED white bulbs in there for my parking lamps. But so far, let's go check the codes now to see that there are no codes. There are no codes for the bulbs. So the only codes right now are for the self-diagnosis for the ABS and the stability control not being completed. And as you can see here, there are no codes for the lights. That's the low beam. So if you look in there, you can see
the silver star. You probably can see, if I go at an angle, you can see the silver star there in its all yellow glory. Even though there's a blue tint to the bulb. And turn the high beams on. There's the high beams. And again, you can probably see the silver star parking lamps there, yellow. But overall, it looks white. So that's all we can do.